Josh, okay, it is time to look at your watches. You've got two watches here. One is the 7S26, and the other one is the 6139. So looking at the 6139, my first impression looking it over was that it looked rough. Half of your movement spring is gone, it's rusted away. There's little bits of pitting in and around the case. Looking at the movement under magnification, it's dirty, and there are little teeny tiny hairs everywhere. You're also missing a screw, so that's a problem. However, what I was not anticipating was that it would run so well. For being dirty and having little hairs in it and all that stuff, and missing a screw, it's running surprisingly well. So. But me personally, looking this over, if this was a watch that I was planning on wearing long term, I would definitely service it. The movement's clearly dirty, but I mean, it's not running badly. I just don't know what else to tell you. But when I see things like this, when I see a watch that the movement that instinctively I look at and I say, hey, this shouldn't run well, and it does, I usually assume that it's got something along the lines of missing screws or loose screws. That was my first assumption. Ooh, look at the numbers dropping. So when I opened it up and I saw the missing balance board screw, I was like, yeah, that's where we're going. So it may be running well right now, but I wouldn't trust these numbers. I'd really want to get in there and see what's up. But it's completely up to you. I mean, the watch isn't running badly. It's definitely missing a screw, and I don't know where that screw is. It's a good watch. I mean, the dial is nice and the hands are nice. It's got a good indicator ring, which is nice because they fade like crazy. So it's up to you. If it were my watch and I was going to keep it, I would service it and put in new seals and potentially new crystal. But it's up to you. Okay, let's change this up. So hang on. Okay, so let's stop this. Take this down to the right left angle for a 7S. Let's see. Let's let that spin up. Okay, so here's this movement. It actually looks pretty good. The only thing I could say is that when I was manually winding it by turning this right here, which puts power into the barrel, the mainspring felt kind of gluey. And the watch didn't want to start. I had to normally it should just kick off on its own. This one didn't really want to do that. But then once I got it going, it started definitely warming up. So let's look at the numbers here. See, it's not actually running badly at all for a 7S movement. I'm not sure what you were telling me what it was doing. I should probably have reviewed your note that you had here with me. But I mean, I will tell you that 246 is not bad at all. It's got a ton of beat error, but that's easily adjusted out. But you can see that it's steady, even, and that's not a bad number for a 7S26. It's a little bit lower. These can tend to run very high numbers in the 260s, 270s range. I mean, in good condition, they run really well. So we put a little bit of power into the mainspring. Let's see what happens to the numbers. Waiting for that thing to kick in. Waiting to see any number change. A little bit, not much. It's probably running a little less than it ought to, but it's not running badly. So you'll have to remind me about what it is this thing was doing, because right now the only problems I'm really seeing is that the mainspring feels a little gluey, and it didn't really want to kick off the balance. And it's got some beat error, so adjustments and maybe a dirty mainspring, you know. But I mean, overall, I think it looks fine. But it's up to you. Totally up to you. It's all up to you, man. You let me know.